A few months ago, I had the pleasure of spending 2 weeks with Kwoto in Khartoum, the capital of Sudan. It was a fascinating experience because I saw Kwoto performing and practicing. And I think it's very important, before all of you will see the performance after the break, that you have an idea what the people stand for and what Kwoto wants to do. I see many Sudanese. You probably have heard of Kwoto, you have seen them many times, but there will be people also who don't know the group. If you excuse me, I will first say something about Kwoto, and then I will come back to you and ask some questions. So Kwoto was founded in 1993, so exactly 10 years ago, in Khartoum, and it's important to know that Kwoto exists of southern Sudanese people, but you mainly work in the north, in Khartoum and surroundings, because Jos van Beurden already explained that because of the civil war, millions of people have fled the country, the south, and I think about 2 or 3 million went to the north and live in the surroundings of Khartoum, and not in nice houses with gardens, but in camps for displaced people. I also went there to see where the Kwoto members live, the dancers. And if you see it, you understand that people are quite tired of the prospect that this has to go on and on and on forever. And I understood that part of why Kwoto existed was that you want to show your culture and not only stick to the dust and the Arabization of the country. When Kwoto started, the idea came, and Stephen and Derek and 2 other people, you started the group, and I want to ask you, may I say Derek?
Derek.
Why the 4 of you, who all studied at the Academy of Arts and Music in Khartoum, why did you decide to start with Kwoto?
Well, there was several reasons. That reason is still, on this. There are many people who are now born in exile. I say exile in different cultural environment in the north, and there is a danger that languages, traditions, and a lot of things could, get lost. So the only way to do is to try to bring all these young people to do something for themselves. That is to say, bringing them to think of their own identity, which is actually manifested in cultures as such. And by doing so, you will articulate all these southern cultures into a culture that is very strong, which people can visualize and identify themselves with. And it will be a good learning experience for all these young people to learn a lot about themselves through these cultures, and then to be able also to link all these people who are displaced to know themselves better and their roots and so on. So basically, this what was the idea of how Kwoto came about in 1994.
1994. Oh, am I done with 1994? You know best. And for people who don't know Sudan very well, maybe it's good to say that if you got confused by what you heard before about Sudan, it's not your fault, because I remember it took me years before I understood just a little bit what was going on in Sudan. There are so many groups. It's not just Muslims and Christians or Northerners and Southerners. Also in the south there are many tribes. For example, you're from a different tribe than Derek is, and there are many, many more. They speak different languages, they have different traditions, they sometimes are in conflict with each other, and then, you see, so lots of complicating factors. But what is, I think, the main reason, from what I remember, that you thought Sudan needed Kwoto, was that when people from the south go to the north, they are forced to forget about their culture, because the idea is, the government says, we are one country, we're not one people, because there are many different tribes, but we want one language and one main culture, which is, as the language is Arabic, so kids who go to school, they have to speak Arabic, which in a way is good, because then everybody understands each other, but it makes you also forget about your own traditional language which is used in songs and traditions. Stephen, you are the one who makes the choreography of the dances. And can you tell us something about why it is so special that Kwoto dances from different tribes? Because for Dutch people this is quite normal. This is what you do as a group. But I understood it's quite special that Southerners do things from different tribes.
Thank you. First of all, I want to remind our people from Sudan, if I can excuse you, I can speak in Arabic because now I want to remind them their country. And then my friend can translate. It's okay. في بلاد يعني رقص يعني في جنوب يعني متنوع خالص.
Just 1 second. You don't want to greet them, but you want to answer the question.
Yeah.
No, please in English. I know you speak very well.
No.
There are many Dutch, and
Okay.
I think you can do it very well.
Okay. We used because we have in South about 51. 51 tribes. That means a lot of dances, song, movement. In Kwoto, because we know that we come from different tribes, that means we want to share our cultures. We want to be one unit, one body, as cultural things, and then to give for our North people also. This is the South that maybe you don't know very well, because just South just place for the war, fighting, killing. But also we have some nice things. We're Sudanese, and this is our gift for you. The first idea.
Okay. But see, if we go back to the choreography and the dances, so you would think that the people from the South, they will all remember these songs or dances from before, because we talk here about culture, and this is a cultural institute, a theater. But I understood that in Sudan, a theater, especially in the South, this is not where people dance. You dance because you mourn somebody, or you dance because there is something to celebrate. So could you say something about the occasions where people dance normally, even in the displaced camps in the north?
Yeah, because we dance if we are somebody dead. We have the dead dance, the love dance. We have the birth dance. We have we want to celebrate if you make now you finish your age from 18 years, you go to be the youth. So we have some special dances for that, even for girls and even for men. Also we have the war dance. If you want to push your the men to go to do good fighting, you also have special songs and also and dance. But in Kwoto we use to mate from Dinka, some of Dinka, maybe if you know the movement.
Yeah, the
like
Dinka are people who love cows.
Cow, yeah. They have a special kind of the choreography, the movement. They put in that like that, and then if you see the hand like the cow things. But also we use some costumes from the Arab tribe, like Latuka. And then if you see Kwoto cannot just show one side from just one tribe, but we want to mix it. Now if after the show, you can see one man use a lot of items from Dinka, from Latuka, from Shuluk, from Nuer, from Anuak. If you see that, it's just like what's it called? International intertribal, yeah, something like that. Yeah, be one unit.
And Derek, it sounds all for us. It sounds romantic or exotic. And I want to ask you: is Kwoto in Sudan? Is it seen as a group that brings folklore, something of the past, that is not in use anymore, or do you also represent dances that are still, is it a living tradition, or do people not dance anymore, and are you showing them what has been lost?
Well, we are doing, we are doing both. We are reminding people of their own identity, their own self through the dances, and also we are teaching them, educating them on other dances that exist in the South. And it's very incredible that in one show you find something, and some of them are even asking, what dance is that? Mm-hmm. Because they don't know what from which part of the country is the dance. And that says that Sudan is quite a very multi-ethnic, multicultural kind of society, that even in the South, you need actually to bring people together by a new mechanism, I say like artistic mechanism more than political mechanism of like grouping people. But through arts, you're bringing them to know themselves, to educate themselves of the lot of the cultures that they have together, and also to remind them of some of the things that have actually living things, as well as things that are actually dying out, and that we should have to stick to it, and we should know what it is, because it is part of our history, and we have got a right to know exactly what is it.
What I remember when I'm in Sudan and I watch television, I see people with turbans or women who are covered with cloth, a tobe. I can't remember I ever saw something from the South being shown other than war. So in a way, what you do, you could say, is against, it's not against the law, but Southern culture is not supposed to be, it doesn't exist. So when you started Kwoto, you did that because in the Academy of Arts and Music, you also worked with the Northern culture, and you said, okay, so if we finish the Academy, what we have to do is bring theater from the North, but we are from the South. So let's start and show how rich our culture is. But didn't you get in trouble because you were doing something that you were not supposed to do?
Well, arts in a sense is something that is very hardly you can fight it. I mean, you can try to block it, because it's something to do with the hearts of the people. It's something to do with the mind of the people. Yeah, the government says it doesn't like it, but in a sense, it is gaining ground on the peoples. And I have to tell you that even the Northerners in the Northern Sudan right now are actually very happy with the Kwoto, and they like it very much. They invited us in their celebrations, in their occasions, and so on. And that is to say that art is one of the strongest skills that can actually address a human being, regardless of his sex, his colors, and so on. And that will generate a kind of a respect, that Southerners are getting more respect through the arts that Kwoto is presenting. And it have come that people are appreciating that and saying, is it true that all this richness, cultural richness existing in Sudan? And the question that we get usually is, why are you not in the television? Why are you not? You see? So it is the people now forcing the government, or forcing the people who are policymakers, to bring these kind of things to the television, because it is a part of the national culture of the Sudan. I mean, it is there in the institutions. Mm-hmm. It is there in the human rights instrument that have been signed and ratified by the government. So you cannot run away from it. And an artist is a human more than a politician, because I have friends like Moniem, who's now resident in the Netherlands. He's my friend. We read together, and we have got a good respect. And they even when Kwoto started, even people from the North were the first, also some of the people who taught the course, the first preliminary course of Kwoto. And that says that artists are likely to be the people who will bring a lot of change and peace to the country.
Yeah, it's true. I also saw a video in Sudan where Kwoto performed with a very famous music group from the North, whose name I forgot, where you danced on their music and they came and sang with your songs. But unfortunately, I mean, it's beautiful that it happens, but I've also seen or heard Northerners talk about people from the South as being lazy and stupid and all these prejudices. So do you think art can battle all that? Is it that simple?
Yeah, art can bottle that because
All right.
because it's actually a mentality, and everywhere you have kind of a scapegoat. First of all, you have people who are you can stigmatize people like they are lazy, they are what, and that's part of like superior, you are superior than us.
Mm-hmm.
But when that guy whom you are stigmatized all the day try to come up with his own things, that is when there will be a balance, and then there will be a new thinking that all this stereotype kind of a thing that these are lazy is not correct, because
that's interesting when you say stereotypes. That's another question I have, and then I come back to Stephen. You probably know what I'm going to ask, because well, the Dutch people also when you will see Kwoto perform, I'm sure you will be flabbergasted. It's beautiful, but actually what I saw is you confirm all the prejudices they have about the Northerners, about people from the South, that they're wild and they can't be tamed, and they walk around half naked. This in Sudan, you just cannot do, and especially the women, they have to be quiet and not speak too loud. And I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the slides. So it's wonderful, it's vibrant, but it's also what Northerners, they don't like it. This is just not done. So aren't you afraid that you actually do precisely what you don't want to do?
We will be the one group in Sudan that have never been stopped by the television. When we went to the television, we went 2 times without covering the hair and so on. And we were left like that, actually. And I don't know why we were left like that. But maybe some of it is that the art that we present is very strong in the sense that we are not actually exposing our body, but we are exposing beauty, the artistic that we have in our cultures. So if we are dancing like half naked, we are not meaning any sexual kind of a thing, but we are meaning the messages that we are sending, the messages of love, of brotherhood, of courageousness that is embodied in the dances.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the Spanish painter Salvador Dali, that it is us with all with all we have in our hearts that we try to impose that kind of things in what is there. Yeah, dance is a pure thing, culture is a pure thing, but the prejudice we have, all the stereotype kind of thing we have, we impose it in the dance, that you exposing your body because you have not covered your hair, you are meaning this, you are meaning this. But in the real philosophical aspect of that dances, there is nothing called like sex, or you mean to show your body and so on. I know maybe our government is very critical about things to do with women and so on, and that's actually violence against women.
It is, yes. And Stephen, Kwoto is doing things that actually you don't even understand how you get away with it, performing like you do, but also you're very determined to not only show the culture of the South, but to do it as good as you can. I mean, the dancers, you really drill them, I've seen it. And I must say, talking about prejudices, I have a few, and I thought I'm going to Sudan and see Kwoto, and then I remember my first appointment was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I came at 3 because I thought, this is about the time, and of course they expected me to be at 1 o'clock. And then next day I saw all the Kwoto members come to train with Stephen, and to my surprise, they all came in time, and they had to write down their name in a book with the time that they were coming, and if you were too late, you had to do extra exercise. And I thought, what's this? Discipline, Sudan. So I want to ask you, what is the idea behind the discipline that you bring into the...
I think it's kind of the way we teach our group, we're taking from our cultures. That means we have also a special kind of, if you want to teach kids or somebody now, you should be now is male, stronger, you give them some lessons, then to be stronger, to have power to stay longer, to do something very stronger. If you leave him alone, that is the way we take it from our cultures. And
so if you leave somebody alone, then what?
No. Now, because we have, if the boy complete the 18 years, they have a special lesson. That we also, we bring that idea in our former, how we can teach our dancers, but we're using the background in our classes. The background.
I remember all of that. You said the African university, so to say. So young people, in the traditional way, when they reach a certain age, they are taught by the elders the dances, but also how to survive, how to take care of the group, and actually you are doing the same thing but within Kwoto. So therefore discipline is needed. Otherwise they just roam around and nothing gets done. So I see that the time is almost up. So I want to ask Derek, I want to ask you, if we think about the last 10 years, no doubt Kwoto has developed from a group that planned to bring theater and dance into, I mean, can you give us some things that you think are very important in what Kwoto has achieved over these last 10 years?
Well, the first thing that I may say is that we have created a unification among us. Actually, the group is a multicultural group. That is to say, people who are there representing Kwoto are from different tribes or ethnic groups of the South, and they are able to live in one place and to do something which is very unique and for the whole, for the community. And they are forcing the others to respect that and to be. And I remember we went to a show in that was in earliest years in 1994. We went to a camp, the Jaborona camp, and we present dances and so on. And one of our boys, was a Denga boy, met his aunt who was in a camp there. And the woman was very angry with the boy that, how can you dance a Shulu dance? And you are not a Shulu. You are a Denga man. You shouldn't dance. And the boy, the answer, I was watching that, and I understand Denga very well. I was watching the conversation. And the boy was saying, you know, we are all one people. I can dance, Denga dance, I can dance, Bari dance. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm a Denka, but also dancing that thing, I'm appreciating also the dances from that. So no, that is not right. You have to dance a Denka, that's not it. And that shows you the generation and the way people think. The older generation will actually stick and lock themselves into that tribe, but the younger generation and Kwoto message and idea and motto is to try to break away that prejudice and that superiority and so on, but to be to share others people. Now we have moved the people of the South, more of the people of the South, even the North, that we have to accept each other. When I dance, you are dancing in a way. I'm accepting you. I'm appreciating your arts. I'm saying that I'm not better than you, but we are all equal. I can learn from you, and you can learn from me. So in most cases, that people have, we have been doing performances to the to the ethnic groups, very special groups, and one of the Denka boys in one of the celebrations said, Kwoto, you are better than us. Because we represent only the Denka people, but you represent the whole South, you see. So that, in a sense, that we are now, we have taught the people how to actually visualize themselves as people who are living in one place and so on. This is one. For the Northerners, they started to appreciate the South through all these dances, and we are gaining a lot of support. All the articles written about Kwoto was written by the pens of the Northerners, and they were saying good things. And I remember when we did these peace through music things, one journalist said, now we have to remember when the Southerners flee the war to the North, what have us as Northerners done to them? We have done nothing. Instead, in our national television, we are collecting money to buy more guns to go and kill them. But we have never asked the normal people that what have happened to you and what are the things that can happen. So South is not Abelalier, it's not John Garang, it's not all these big names, the political names, but are the people who are living among us, and we have done nothing to them. So this is a kind of a crime that we will be asked of later on. So that means you are not, I don't want to say forcing people, but we are letting people to understand the situation and to try to criticize the situation or to criticize their own selves. So this is what Kwoto have done basically, and now we have got a reading library where people come to read, and regardless of you are not from the north or the south, you're going to read. We have a public lectures where people come to listen to topics like arts topic or cultural topics, where we have everybody's admitted. We have and most of the people who have lectured in Kwoto are from the north. Dr. Hashim Khalifa, Dr. Muhammad Al-Mahdi Bushra, Dr. Al-Fatih Hussein came for a concert, Dr. Badriya Muhammad Badri in the Ahfad University. All these people are from the north, and one of the journalists asked me that you are accused of being, racial, and so I said, no, we are not racial. I have done this with the Igda Jalal. We have done for Muhammad Al-Amin song Qissat al-Sawra, Marhamad October. We have done this and this, but I will say you are racial because you have never done something very unique with the South.
Maybe it's good for people who don't know the situation. Kwoto has a center in Khartoum, and that's the place where they perform, but also where there's a big library, and where other people also come to train with Stephen. Anyway, I want to thank you both very much, and I hope you have a better idea now of what Kwoto represents. It's not just a group to amuse you, but it's a group who in Sudan has its base and wants to change things for the better. Thank you.
Thank you.